Good Friday evening, May 30th, and welcome to the NCWLIFE Evening News. I'm Grant Olson. Here are a few of the stories we have coming up for you tonight. Burn bans will go into effect this Sunday in Chelan, Douglas, and Grant counties to promote public safety and take preventative measures against wildfires. The Grant PUD has officially been granted a higher credit rating from Moody's Ratings. That's a global credit rating agency. Expect sunny and unseasonably warm weather tomorrow with very windy conditions by Saturday night. Your weekend weather details are straight ahead. A Wenatchee man was arrested today after a woman jumped through the driver's side window of the vehicle he'd allegedly stolen from her 2 days prior. On Thursday, Wenatchee police responded to reports of a woman hanging out the window of a moving car near the Wenatchee Valley Quick Stop. When they arrived, they found the woman with abrasions to her feet. She told officers that she had loaned her car to 56-year-old Bradley W. Armstrong of Wenatchee 2 days prior, but hadn't heard from him since then. When she saw her car parked at the gas station, she dove into the driver's side window to try to stop Armstrong from driving away. Armstrong allegedly drove a short distance up the road while punching the woman in the head before finally stopping the car and running away with his passenger. The woman was treated for her injuries at Confluence Health, and Armstrong was found and arrested on suspicion of theft of a motor vehicle, second-degree assault, and first-degree robbery. A hunting and fishing advocacy group has asked the governor to remove 4 members of the Washington Fish and Wildlife Commission, including 1 member from Wenatchee. Retired wildlife biologist John Lemkool is a commissioner since 2022 and the head of the panel's Big Tent Committee, which helps set wildfire management policy. The National Sportsmen's Alliance announced earlier this month that it's petitioning Governor Bob Ferguson to remove Lemkool, as well as 3 other commissioners. The lobbying group says the commissioners violated open meeting laws and public record law by developing policy behind closed doors, and their decision to cancel spring hunts for black bear violated the commission's mandate to maximize fishing and hunting opportunities. The Sportsmen's Alliance says it delivered its petition to Ferguson's office May 16th. The governor's office did not respond this week to a request for comment from NCWLIFE News. Burn bans will go into effect this Sunday in Chelan, Douglas, and Grant counties to promote public safety and take preventative measures against wildfires. The burning of all yard debris, household garbage, and other materials will be strictly prohibited. In Chelan County, fireworks and the use of exploding targets and incendiary ammunition is also prohibited. Some burns are still allowed in Douglas and Grant counties, but only if the proper permit has been obtained. A wildfire ignited on Thursday in Grant County after a controlled burn quickly became uncontrolled, an example of why these burn bans are put into place. The violation of these burn bans may result in a citation and fine. The fire district that serves Orondo is welcoming a new chief alongside a new assistant chief. Jeff Zanol became overall chief of Douglas County Fire District 4 with the retirement earlier this month of longtime chief Jim Odie. Zanol has been with the district since 1983 and became assistant chief in 2015. This week, Zanol passed the assistant chief rank on to Justin Dennis, who also acts as the department's emergency medical services coordinator. Both men are Orondo natives. When we come back, a second security dog is coming to Confluence Health next month, and she needs to be named. And the month of June has been officially proclaimed Ride Transit Month by the cities of Wenatchee, East Wenatchee, Cashmere, Chelan, Waterville, and Leavenworth. I'm Grant Olson, and you're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News.
Central Washington Water understands the power of healing waters. If part of your wellness routine includes hot heat from a sauna, Central Washington Water now carries indoor and outdoor infrared and hot rock saunas by Tilo. Research shows there are many health benefits to a cold plunge after a good workout or relaxing time in your sauna. Harness the power of water in a hot spring spa, plug-and-play spas, a Tilo sauna, or a cold plunge tub. Stop by Central Washington Water, your wellness experts.
Between juggling groceries, preparing meals, and lending a helping hand, you're a hero without a cape. But who's there to support you? Aging and Adult Care honors caregivers like you, the relatives, friends, and neighbors, helping loved ones remain safely at home. Aging and Adult Care offers chore services, respite, personal care, and more. Serving Chelan, Douglas, Grant, Lincoln, Adams, and Okanagan counties, call Aging and Adult Care at 1-800-572-4459 for caregiver support.
A second security dog is coming to Confluence Health next month, and she needs to be named. The new German Shepherd will join Atlas, Confluence Health's first ever security dog, who made his way to Wenatchee from Slovakia in January. The healthcare organization is asking the community to vote for their favorite names out of a list of 10, which can be found on their Facebook page. The options are Addie, Athena, Ellie, Jane, Luna, Moxie, Nala, Sam, Stevie, and Zoe. The top 5 names will be sent to the Confluence Health Foundation Board, which provided the funding for the dogs, and will pick the final name. The Grant County PUD has officially been granted a higher credit rating from Moody's Ratings. That's a global credit rating agency, moving up from AA3 positive to AA2 stable. Moody's says that the PUD's credit was improved due to the company's large amount of liquid reserves, cash resources, wholesale power sale revenues, and low ratio of debt to valuable assets. This rating will be applied to the PUD's current debt of $575 million and help lower finance costs for future borrowing. However, the PUD says that as of now, no need for debt is expected until 2028. U.S. Senator Maria Cantwell was in Seattle yesterday for a press conference on the back-and-forth Trump administration tariffs and court challenges. As of Thursday, a federal appeals court reinstated tariffs on most U.S. trading partners while it considers arguments in the case. Cantwell's office said 2 out of every 5 jobs in Washington state are tied to trade and trade-related industries. Cantwell, who was joined by business owners and Seattle port commissioners, said the tariffs are causing uncertainty among ports and businesses.
There is an extra burden on the small businesses who can't afford to pay the tariffs on goods that they haven't sold yet. And manufacturers can't order parts because prices are fluctuating wildly in the supply chain. That means exporters do not know how foreign trading partners will even retaliate against them for shelf space. So American businesses need a rules-based trade system. That means American families would have the certainty, not chaos, and not higher prices. We know this, that when you start trade wars, usually that means you end up closing markets. We want to see the opening of markets. We need more opportunities for U.S. exporters. And the trade alliance that was done here between the Port of Seattle and Tacoma leveraged that ability for us to reach more markets. 95% of the world consumers live outside the United States, and if we want to be competitive with other countries, we need to be fighting to open markets, not a fight on retaliatory tariffs that are causing us great hardship and are costing us that important shelf space. I hope Congress and the courts keep stepping up the process of saying no to this trade chaos.
The month of June has been officially proclaimed Ride Transit Month by the cities of Wenatchee, East Wenatchee, Cashmere, Chelan, Waterville, and Leavenworth. The month-long celebration recognizes the public transit system and the role it plays in local communities. To celebrate, Link Transit is hosting a Kids' Day at Columbia Station on June 14th from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m., where children can ride the bus with a local mascot. A bingo game is also available on Link's website that can be played by riding various routes. Link's mascot, Chip the Duck, will also be riding buses throughout the month. If travelers spot Chip, they can receive Link-themed merchandise. Coming up next, young drivers in Washington will have to get more driver's education under legislation that was signed into law within the past few weeks. We'll have more on that coming up in tonight's feature story. Expect beautiful weather for most of Saturday with lots of wind by Saturday night. I'll have all the details coming up in your full local weather forecast. That and much more still to come tonight. Please stay with us.
A ductless unit from Carrier can keep anyone comfortable. Take Shelly, for instance. She finds me time in her new attic-turned-home gym. And with her Carrier ductless unit, the temperature is always perfect. No matter how intense her workout gets. Carrier. Total comfort, totally happy.
Turn to the experts, Carrier and Alpine Air. Heat and air, call Alpine Air.
At Abby's, Toppings to the Edge is a promise we've kept for 60 years and counting. We load our pizzas with fresh ingredients, quality meats, and real cheese, so every bite is legendary. If you can find a better pizza, buy it. Abby's, you just can't top it. Right now, every day is Taco Tuesday at Abby's. Our Taco Especial is on sale 7 days a week. This giant pizza serves up to 6 people and is at a very special price. Order at abbys.com. Give us a call or just drop by. We're family-owned Abby's, a legendary pizza tradition.
It's the Click It RV Moses Lake Pre-Memorial Day Sales event with huge manufacturers discounts from Forest River, StarCraft, and more. Get 0 down financing and no payment for 90 days. And get top dollar for your trade. And as our way of saying thank you, active military and veterans get a $500 parts and service card. And talk about giveaways. Win a StarCraft trailer or $30,000 in cash. And get a 65-inch TV with every purchase. Nobody beats a Click It RV deal. We guarantee it. Don't miss the Click It RV Moses Lake Pre-Memorial Day Sales event, May 18th through the 30th.
In tonight's feature story, young drivers in Washington will have to get more driver's education under legislation that was signed into law within the past few weeks. From the Olympia News Bureau, Murrow News fellow Albert James shows us how supporters say it'll address disproportionate dangers and why one group suggests a different route is needed.
So our goal here is to make sure that our roadways are as safe as possible for everybody on them.
Democrat Brandy Donaghy of Snohomish County says sweeping legislation signed into law this month moves the needle towards safer driving. Under House Bill 1878, mandatory driver's education will expand to drivers up to 21 years old by 2030. Right now, only 16 and 17-year-olds have to take driver's ed before getting their first license.
For 18 to 25-year-olds who had not taken driver education, they had more than a 60% higher rate of crash involvement.
Mark McKechnie with the Washington Traffic Safety Commission says young drivers are disproportionately involved in serious or deadly crashes, but driver's ed makes someone less likely to get into a crash. To make driving school more accessible, the law also creates a voucher program to help with costs, allows online driving courses, and lets students do most of their behind-the-wheel training in one day if they have hardships like living far away.
We did want to provide an opportunity for them to at least have a chance to get that time in without it being more of a burden.
I'm a history major. I teach ELA. I teach a whole myriad of different subjects. But in a way, there's nothing that I've taught that is more important than driver education.
Alex Hansen, president of the Washington Traffic Safety Education Association, applauds lawmakers for trying to tackle a big challenge, but says the bill doesn't get up to speed. He's concerned about the quality of education offered online and adjustments to behind-the-wheel instruction. Hansen ultimately believes supporting driver's ed in public schools is the best way to promote safety, as it can reach all school-aged young drivers.
Kids who have access to a driver education program in the local high school where they already attend, they're going to take it. But only 20 schools in the state of Washington currently still offer it, when almost every school back in the 90s, when I taught it, offered it. And almost everybody took it.
Now, Donaghy says there are a lot of factors that complicate bringing driver's ed back to schools, though partnerships with commercial driving schools could go a long way. She says the idea is to ultimately expand mandatory driver's ed to 25. In Olympia, I'm Albert James reporting.
Time now to take a look at your North Central Washington weather forecast. Hope your Friday was a good one. Boy, just fabulous weather out there all across North Central Washington today. This is our tower camera up in Wenatchee Heights, and you can see just lots of blue sky, just a smattering of clouds out there and a light breeze. You can see some of the grasses blowing a little bit, but that's not windy compared to what we've seen over the past month or so. Here we go with your weekend forecast as we get into Saturday. I'll tell you what, about 60 to 70% of Saturday is going to be really nice. Sunshine, warm temperatures for Saturday, and then the winds are going to pick up and we could see gusts between 30 and 40, high temperatures anywhere from the mid 80s to the mid 90s. And as that dry cold front moves through on Sunday, we're going to see cooler temperatures with some breezy conditions and temperatures then only in the mid 70s. We'll talk more about that coming up a little bit later on. But let's talk first about the wind that we do expect on Saturday. Look at that. Wenatchee 45 to 50 mile an hour gusts, Moses Lake 40 to 45, and about 35 to 40 mile an hour wind gusts up in Omak. And boy, that means blown objects all over your yard. Make sure they're secure. And one thing that's important, a lot of you will be enjoying, I should say, waterways around our area. And we are going to see some very, very choppy water late Saturday and especially into Saturday night. So be awfully careful out there. Today we reached 84 degrees, well above where we should be for this time of year of 75. Look at that record high. This is May, 103 degrees set back in 1986. 52 this morning, exactly where we should be for lows this time of year. Our record low, 42, and that was set in 1984. Sun came up at 5:09 this morning, and it sets tonight at 8:48. All right, getting into the weekend, I mentioned it's going to be a hot one to kick off Saturday. 91 in Moses Lake and Ephrata, 90 for Quincy, 89 in Wenatchee and Entiat, also upper 80s, Chelan and Omak. Going to be plenty warm for Leavenworth and Cashmere too, with high temperatures in the mid to upper 80s. So we're going to be at least 10 to 15 degrees above normal for your Saturday. Tonight we'd expect just a few high clouds out there. It will be warm overnight tonight with lows 60 to 62 degrees for us. And that warm spots all the way through central and down into south central Washington. Here we go for Saturday. High pressure will make for a beautiful day, and then look what happens late in the afternoon. Very strong winds under partly cloudy skies. We could get up to about 90 degrees tomorrow afternoon. And then as that weak cold front slides through, we will see some breezy conditions once again on Sunday. The big news, much cooler as we see a northwesterly flow of air back down into the upper 70s to kick off the month of June on Sunday. For your Monday then, our next work week, mostly sunny skies. Our weather will really stabilize after Saturday and Sunday. A little bit warmer for Monday with a high temperature right around 80 as high pressure continues to build off the Pacific. For Tuesday, more of the same. High pressure off the west coast, mostly sunny. We'll see highs jumping up into the low 80s on Tuesday. I'm telling you, next week is really going to be a nice week. Wednesday, no different. We'll stick with those mostly sunny skies. High pressure really not going anywhere for about 4 or 5 days next week. We'll see highs again on Wednesday into the low 80s. And then by Thursday, things begin to change just a little bit. Temperatures are going to stay on the mild side, but we do have a trough to our east, high pressure to our west. So yeah, that'll kick up those windy conditions on Thursday afternoon, but it will remain warm with high temperatures right around 80 degrees. Taking a look now at your 7-day forecast, very mild tonight at 61, 89 tomorrow, and then the wind comes up late tomorrow afternoon. We do, by the way, have a wind advisory for tomorrow night. 52 our low for Saturday, 77 and breezy on Sunday, so we go down about 12 degrees from Saturday to Sunday. And then just a nice work week next week, mostly sunny Monday through Wednesday with highs in the low 80s, breezy conditions and partly cloudy Thursday with a high temperature then of 80 degrees. And that's a look at your North Central Washington weather forecast. Coming up next, tonight's sports report with Eric Granstrom and more as the NCWLIFE Evening News continues right after this.
The pitch by Busic. Swung on a miss. Wenatchee Apple Sox baseball is back on the NCWLIFE channel. Watch as they take on the Yakima Valley Pippins Friday, May 30th. Coverage brought to you by our Platinum supporter, Alpine Air Heating and Cooling. Also by Abby's Pizza, Apple Valley Honda, Biosports Physical Therapy, Coldwell Banker Cascade Real Estate, Global Car Care, Harvest Valley Pest Control, and Highlander Golf Course and Grill. Your exclusive television home for Apple Sox baseball is the NCWLIFE channel.
A good finally Friday to you. Seattle had every opportunity for the comeback win against Washington last night, but squandered chances in the 8th and then again in the 9th, and then gave up a 7 spot in the 10th to lose 9-3. Emerson Hancock battled for 5 innings before handing the ball to Gabe Spire in the 6th, who immediately gave up a 2-run double to put the Nationals up 2-0. Seattle came back with 2 runs in the 7th, but couldn't cash in the 8th and had the whole world fall apart in the 10th to lose 2 games to 1.
That's not a ground ball. That's a drive to left into the corner. Tina scores. Abrams coming around. He will be waved home, and James Wood has done it again. 6 RBIs in this series. 2-0 Washington.
And the 0-2 on the way to Crawford. It is strike 3 called on the outside corner, and JP not happy at all with home plate umpire Andy Fletcher, and Crawford has just been thrown out of the ball game. JP Crawford is red hot. He's not giving up the conversation. Here comes Dan Wilson, and JP called out on strikes by Andy Fletcher, and there's 1 away for the Mariners here in the bottom of the 6th inning.
Inside out, left field, base hit. Mastrobuoni waved home. Here's the throw, cut off, and the Mariners are on the board. It's a 1-run game. Leody Taveras cashes in with his 3rd hit tonight.
Leody's put some really good at-bats together here this evening. This time from the left side as he smashes this one to left field.
To right field, tie game. Ben Williamson delivers in the 7th inning. He ties it up against his boyhood team. We are even at 2. Line drive right past the glove of Mastrobuoni. Low being waved home. Here's the throw. Play tag. He's out at home. Leody Taveras with a rocket from right field. Game-changing play by the Mariners.
Yeah, fantastic play by Leody Taveras. Look how he comes in on this ball. He tries to airmail it, but Cal catches it on a little short hop with plenty of time to nail Nathaniel Lowe at home.
And that ball is launched out to right. After it, Taveras. And at the wall, he will haul it in. But Dalen Lyle has his first Major League RBI to put the Nats on top.
The lead.
And he'll serve one to left. Abrams around 3rd. He'll get the send. That throw is way offline. And the Nats have picked up multiple runs.
One teammate picking up the other.
Breaking ball high in the air to right. Racing back again, Taveras. And that's off the wall at the 380 mark. 2 runs will score. The Nats go up 6-2. 2. And Bell will check one to right.
Let's go.
See you later. It's a 7-run 10th inning for the Nats.
Let it eat, Josh Bell. 109 off the bat, and they can't catch this one. On the ground, through the right side for a base hit. Williamson rounds 3rd, and he scores standing. Leo Rivas.
And Kyle Finnegan will take care of business and get that last out. Well, the Nats have been coming here since 2008, and a kid named Corey Casto, who's from this area, hit a homer to win a series for the Nats. So we'll give him some credit. Over the years, the Nationals are 10-4 in this ballpark.
You know, it was a frustrating night when J.P. Crawford was ejected in the 6th inning. Dan Wilson began his post-game comments about J.P.'s frustrations.
Yeah, I mean, tough call, and you know, I get it. I was there the other day. It's frustrating at times, and JP has been so solid for us, and it's always tough in those situations, and you know, but we were able to continue to fight, and that's what our guys do. And you know, we pick each other up and we have each other's backs, and that's what the guys did tonight for sure. I thought Emerson on our side threw the ball really well again. You know, he continues to throw the ball well. And, you know, he attacked the zone, you know, good sinker, and then able to use his changeup as well, and his other secondaries, and just another really, you know, strong ball game from him. And Wood has been very hot, and he swung the bat well, and you know, our bullpen was very rested, and with Gabe out there, who's thrown the ball so well for us, you know, that was we thought that was a spot for him right there, and just felt like with a couple guys on there and the traffic that was out there, it was a good time to do it. I think it was, yeah, it got him in the hand, so we'll just see where it takes us tomorrow. It seemed okay, yeah. You know, we'll obviously check it up tomorrow. We'll have more update tomorrow, but you know, he was able to at least get through this one, and we'll see what happens in the morning.
Seattle will try to bounce back from losing a series to a sub-500 team when they'll host Minnesota in the first of 3 games tonight at 7:10. That'll be on Root Sports Northwest. Well, Houston continues to match what Seattle does, so the Mariners still lead the American League West by a half game. Astros were demolished by Tampa Bay 13-3 in the only other game involving an American League West team. Toronto punished the Athletics 12-0. The Wenatchee Apple Sox begin defense of its West Coast League North Division Championship tonight with the Yakima Valley Pippins in town. Tonight also marks the start of Wenatchee's 25th season in franchise history. It all began back in 2000 with names like John Gebers and Justin Williams and Jeremy Mannon. Apple Sox won their first ever game in Bellingham 2-1. As Wenatchee opens this season tonight against Yakima Valley, they enjoy a 3-game winning streak against the Pippins dating back to a home series in late July last summer. Overall, the Apple Sox are 27-30 against the Pippins. I'll be along Brandon Schmitten with the play-by-play here on the NCWLIFE channel. First pitch tonight slated for 6:35. Now, entertaining and entering play tonight, Coach Mitch Darlington's next victory would be his 100th in his career with the Apple Sox during the regular season. Tonight's game is the first of a 3-game weekend series between the two teams. They'll play again tomorrow night at 6:35 and wrap up the series Sunday at 5:35. You can go to applesox.com for tickets and more information. Well, the prep spring sports season is winding down this weekend with a local team taking part. The Wenatchee Panther boys soccer team is at the WIAA State 4A Final Four at Spark Stadium in Puyallup. Wenatchee is set to take on Hazen in the semifinals tonight at 7 o'clock. A win would put the Panthers into the state championship game tomorrow night at 6:30 against the winner between Chiawana and Woodinville. A loss tonight puts Wenatchee into a match for 3rd or 4th against the loser between Chiawana and Woodinville. That'll be tomorrow at 12:30. Well, following a rainout 2 weekends ago and an off weekend last weekend for Memorial Day, racing is back at Wenatchee Valley Super Oval on Saturday. The quarter-mile asphalt track on Fancher Heights is hosting the Wenatchee 200 for the super late models. It's $25,000 to win in the race presented by Plum Perfect. Other classes of racing this weekend include the Dick's Heating and Air Conditioning Thunder Cars as well as the Angels Bail Bond Legends. They'll be practicing tonight. The gates open tomorrow at 4 o'clock with racing starting at 5. Go to WVSO.com for tickets and more information. That's Check It Sports News. I'm Eric Granstrom. Have a great weekend.
And that will do it for our newscast tonight. For more news from around North Central Washington, you can find us at NCWLIFE.com, on our social media channels, or on our mobile app for iPhone and Android. And remember, if you see news happening, we'd like to hear from you. Email us at news@ncwlife.com or give us a call at 888-6295. I'm Grant Olson. Thanks so much for being with us and have a great weekend.